Goeiemorgen, good morning, guten Morgen, salam alaikum, Dumela. A while ago, I received this question in my farm mailbox regarding construction tokens. Construction tokens is one of the rewards that you get as a choosable reward, and now I need to find one of them. Like so, where you can choose between construction tokens, super chicken feed, super pig feed, super cow feed. There are a few events where you get construction tokens directly as reward. Most of them have been phased out into a choosable reward, anyway, whatever they're called, where you can choose one, but there still are a few that happens by themselves. So what are these and what do you do with them? This is your normal construction slot. So if you start upgrading or building something, like, let's see if there's if I decide to build that there, it will use the construction slot, and while that is in use I cannot upgrade anything else. This one is called the universal construction slot because you can use it on all the farms. You can use it on all the main farms. It's not used for the cooperative village, and it's not used for any of the temporary farms like the Viking farm or the candy farm. But for everywhere else you normally use this construction slot in which we've just built the deco. There is a second construction slot. This one is called the one-time construction slot, for which you need 50 construction tokens. Normally it is locked and you only have access to the one slot. I suggest always keeping a few of these rewards or a rainy day. Not all of them. Some of them you really can exchange for feed unless you don't have enough of them. Some constructions take longer than others. At the moment we have shorter reduced construction time. So normally this one would be 2 hours, which is fine. Or perhaps something of 1 day is fine. But there are a few constructions when you get in higher levels or on lower levels, things like the mills, when you have not upgraded the farmhouse or cabin yet, that take a really long time. Even with 50% reduced construction time, this will take 116 hours, which is a lot of days. 5 days. So without the reduced construction it would have been 10 days, and nobody wants to tie up a universal construction slot for 10 days. In that time it means you cannot do anything else, and that is where the universal construction slot comes in handy. Because it is something that you need to work towards or save up for, it is better used on the odd occasion instead of for every day. So as soon as I have... before I do that, at the moment you can also buy construction tokens for silver apples if you don't have enough of them for rewards. But I have enough rewards, so I don't need to spend my silver apples. They've got other uses for me. Okay, now the thing is, very important thing to remember, the moment that you have filled up the minimum requirement or exceeded it, the other 4 tokens will not be lost. It will consume the 50 tokens, but the 4 extra will still be here for next time. The very next construction you do will automatically go into the one-time construction slot. Even if the universal construction slot is available, you cannot choose in which slot to do the building. So if I would, this is going to be an expensive illustration, but here goes. If you should accidentally start building anything else, then it will automatically go to the one-time construction slot and you cannot choose. And if it is a very short production, then you kind of just lost out on something. Let me move this up here. And let's go find another decoration that will be quick to build. Oh my goodness. Let's go for a scarecrow, right? Yep, let's build a scarecrow. I must tell you, this hurts. Anyway, if you start any kind of construction, no matter how short, it will automatically jump into the one-time construction slot, and 3 seconds later that was 50 tokens down the drain. Therefore, be very careful before you start a construction there, which is why it's best to keep these tokens until you are actually going to use them. Again, the 7 tokens will carry over to next time. The one-time construction slot is more useful to do really long constructions in. like so, which still leaves me the universal construction slot for anything else that might need to be done. Oh, there you can see the 7 tokens still remains as a balance over for the next time we want to use the slot. We will only need another 43. The same principle applies of the universal construction slot versus the one-time construction slot during the temporary farms. Here on the tropical farm, which is one of the temporary farms, you can see there's 2 construction slots as well. The island farm construction slot and the universal construction slot. Now the island farm construction slot, as the name would indicate, is only available from here. I want to upgrade a field, which will take 2 hours, and I also want to upgrade the gate, which will only take 45 minutes. But I want to do the shorter one in the universal construction slot so that I can use it for something else afterwards on the main farms. Because I know that the local or the limited or the specialized, I don't know what to call it, construction slots will always take the first construction that is started. I know to use the longer construction first, which will take up the island farm construction slot, and then I can start the shorter one in the universal construction slot, so that when the time is up I can see it from my main farms and I can start another one there. The point is that just like with a one-time construction slot, the special construction slot will always be chosen first by the game if it is available. It will always first look for the more specific construction slots before it goes to the universal construction slot. I know there is another construction slot that exists. I have not used it, and that is called the local construction slot, which you unlock with real life money, I believe. Oh yeah. There it is. The extra local construction slot will cost you $13 something a month. If you're not spending real life money, then you still have the universal construction slot as well as the one-time construction slot, which can be unlocked using your rewards from events or bought with silver apples. The one-time construction slots now being in use, I can start a second construction which will go into the universal construction slot, and this will be done before I go to bed tonight, which means I can start another one and not have to wait for this really long one to finish. That was it for the construction slots, and have fun farming.